everybody. Hello and welcome to another edition of Addition. I'm your host, Addie Snowden. I'm a quantum life coach helping you jump into the reality of your dreams. You can always book with me at calendly.com/additionpod. That is calendly.com/additionpod. I'm excited and, to be honest, a little bit nervous today to talk about today's topic. Um, today's uh, Today we're talking about when your circle becomes your cage, how to break free and manifest your dreams. So yes, we're talking about friends, we're talking about coworkers, we're talking about people who take up space in our life and um, basically potentially are getting in the way of us achieving our goals. And I know this can be a really hard topic. And I want to first start by talking about, like, I can talk about my friendship journey. I would say I've always been somewhat of a loner. I feel like I've never really connected too much with people. I feel like I always had just maybe one close friend, and in like group settings or group conversations, I always found really overwhelming. I I honest sometimes I forgot to talk because I would not talk to people so much. Like I would just for I would be talking and not necessarily enunciating because I was so in my head. And so I guess I can be considered somewhat social. That may be a surprise to people who know me in real life. I've been in leadership positions. I've always been part of social groups. I was part of a Greek house. I did that because it was always pushed to me that you need to network. Your net worth is your network. If you don't talk to people, it doesn't matter how great you are or how talented you are. If you don't know anybody, you're not going to make it. So I forced myself to become more extroverted. I forced myself to have more friends than I really wanted to. I was really kind of happy alone, to be honest. I was happy alone, and I was a relationship girl. And one person was always enough. That single confidant was enough for me. So I say all that to say, like, take this with a grain of salt, because I'm going to talk about how a circle becomes a cage, but you're hearing that from someone who already naturally is introverted. So if you're more of an extroverted person and you listen to this podcast and you think like this isn't even relevant to me at all, like, still listen, because there may be some grains of truth that you can borrow to apply to your life. But I will say at this point in time, I realize it's an asset to be an introvert, because the rest of the title of this podcast is how to break free and manifest your dreams. And my wife will always say, like, no one can block your blessing. Like, however, if you never take time to even ask for what you want in life because you're so caught up and obsessed with these friends and these relationships, essentially a blessing is getting blocked because you don't even have the time or the space to ask for your dreams, right? You don't even have the time or the space to create your vision board. You don't have the time or space to write down your goals for the year because you're so consumed with this interweb of relationships and friendships. So I went through my whole life thinking my introversion was um, something that was holding me back, a hindrance, something I would have to work to overcompensate. Now, at this phase of my life, I'm realizing my introversion is a blessing. It's a way I get most of my time, to focus on myself, to focus on my dreams, focus on things like this podcast. Things like podcasts, YouTube channels, live streaming take a lot of time, take a lot of energy. And you know what also takes a lot of time and energy? Friends. So anyway, so that's the intro. We're gonna get into today when your circle becomes your cage, how to break free and manifest your dreams. So, and also a reminder, like, this is not about blaming others. This is about awareness of, people are always going to want our time, always going to want our space, especially if you're someone who listens to this podcast. You're ambitious, you're educated, you're smart, you're going places. People are always going to want to latch onto you. We've heard about riding on your coattails. It's not their fault. You're shining bright, being an attractive bright light, just like attracting all the moths, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's on us to set boundaries. That's what this is about. So it's just about being aware that we have a limited amount of energetic capacity. Like if you have a job and you also have a side hustle and you also have kids and you also have a spouse and you also have this and you also have that, like the amount of space that you have to actually work on your dream, start that business, achieve that goal is very small already. So we have to be very aware about how much time we're giving to others, and then and also how to set boundaries to get that time and space back. All right, I'm seeing some stuff in the chat. Yay, thanks for YouTube. Could please continue. If you have questions as I'm talking about this, feel free to submit them in the chat. Okay, so first we're going to talk about the nature of dreams and relationships. So why dreams are delicate when they're first born. Okay. Oh, hey Jay Snow. It's so funny. In YouTube I can't see the emojis, so it has like the text. But I'm really excited. I appreciate it. Love you guys. Okay, so let's say it's like the first thing that people do wrong when it comes to friends and manifesting is like they'll immediately tell their friends like what their goal or their dream is. And I remember hearing this advice. It's like, don't stop telling people. Stop telling people about what you're about to do. And I used to hear that advice and I'm like, why? I want to tell people about what I'm gonna do. And I think for me that was my ego. I feel like I needed external validation so much. I needed so much external validation that I didn't even want to. The things that I was even deciding to do were things that I probably thought were cool to tell people that I was doing. Like again, like it's centering others instead of centering ourselves. And so it's like, but I'm like, I want to talk about it because if I talk about it, then I'll hold myself accountable. I can't. And then I realized I if I'm saying I need to tell people in order to hold myself accountable, what does that say about my commitment to my dream? I need other people to hold me accountable for my dream. Like that's absolutely crazy. Now that I feel like I can only have this perspective sitting here in Thailand in the literal middle of nowhere. Where it's like no one is around me except my wife to hold me accountable. Like everything that I'm doing while I'm here has to come from me. And I don't know why I thought my friends or coworkers, like, for example, like saying like, oh, I'm about to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to tell everybody at work, yeah, I'm on a diet. I have a goal of losing 20 pounds. And telling people because you want them to call you out if you're grabbing the work cookies. Like, come on, like, if it's our goal, it's our goal. We don't need someone else to hold us accountable. What we think anyway, but let's say you really did think that people were going to hold you accountable. Like that's not what they actually do. They are going to ask you questions like, are you sure that's realistic? um like, are you sure about that? I knew somebody who did that and that didn't work for them. A million people want to do this. Why do you think you're going to be different? The naysaying and negativity comes in. That's what happens when you tell people about your dreams. I remember one time, I won't say who I shared this to. I remember I was so excited because I had a dream of working at Google. And I remember when I finally got that offer letter at Google and I told someone, I won't say who I told, and I thought they were going to be so happy for me. Like this is someone who, knows how much I've put my whole life into my career. And they were not happy. They were like, they made it seem like it was had the wrong priorities, said I should have been prioritizing marriage instead of career, and they weren't proud of me. And it's like it's like it doesn't matter what it is. Like I've been retired. I'm retired now. I've moved to Thailand. my wife and I are going to be on TV tomorrow, and the amount of people who have gone out of their way to give us our flowers, to tell us how proud they are of us. Like, it's a very, 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 very small number of people, and none of them are friends. Let's to be really honest with you. So you gotta, like, if the only reason why you're doing things is so you can tell your friends about it, you need to second guess why you're what your goals even are. You know what I mean? Like, if you only want to lose weight because you want other people to applaud you and say good job, that's that's a waste of time. If you want to work at Google because you want your parents to pat you on your back and say, oh, I have a great daughter, like, that's a waste of time. Once you stop worrying about what your friends think or what your circle thinks, whoever's in your circle, whatever relationships, coworkers, whatever, then you can start thinking about what you actually want to do as opposed to what things are going to impress them. So again, like, if it's not really a dream, if you need to tell people about it to make you feel good about it, like, that's a sign that it's not even an authentic dream. It's not even what you really want to do. So, and these friends that say negative things about your dreams, they're not necessarily doing it because they're bad people. They just have they have fear. They have a fear of being left behind. They're jealous. Some of them have genuine concern. Like, they're different. People may have been like, "Are you sure you want to move to Thailand?" Because they have genuine concern about our safety. But as people who've been to Thailand that know that it is safe here, we don't need to listen to that. Okay, so I have someone in the comments. Okay, of course the comments are coming out. So we have someone who said that she disagrees. Any motivation is good motivation as long as they have the discipline. Um, I agree too. I don't think we necessarily disagree, but I guess what I'm saying is, if you think telling your friends is going to give you motivation, that in itself is a lie, because they're actually likely going to demotivate you by telling you how hard it is. So that's the issue. You got to make sure the people you're telling are actually going to motivate you. And the core message of this podcast, it's not who you think it is. It's not who you think it is. I needed to pay someone. I needed to hire a coach. Hey, Addie Snowden, Quantum Life Coach, I can be your motivator too. But for me, it's like I paid a career coach. I paid a therapist. Like, there are people that I actually gave my funds to that were paid to motivate me. To think that people in their free time with their busy life are going to take out time to be your personal coach and help you achieve your dreams and goals is crazy. It's delusional. So that's my response there. So Jay Snow says, mostly they're immediately going to introduce doubt and negativity. Absolutely. Jay Snow said, go and tell us what they said. I done told y'all. All right. Yes. So next, we're going to talk about the different types of dream blocking friends and coworkers. And I want you to think about and see if you have people like this in your life. So there's the naysayer, always sees why it won't work. And I would say, like, I used to be that person. Like, sometimes, LOL. Jalila said, keep it to yourself and just do it. Period, girl. Okay, so the naysayer always sees why it won't work. And I used to be like this. Like, I used to be like, are you sure? Like, that's not going to work. And I had to do a lot of work on positive thinking because, and it's not even a bad thing. It's really a survival skill. Is it going to rain? But thank God it's way too hot out here. I needed these clouds, but it's a survival skill to be able to um, see any kind of, like, possible negative outcomes. Like, right now, Jolene and I are watching Steven Universe right now, and Garnet is one of the crystals, and Garnet can see all different future possibilities, and a lot of them are negative. And it takes a lot of work to train your mind to focus on the positive ones, because the positive ones are just as likely to occur as the negative ones. That's something I can also help you with, Addie Snowden, Quantum Life Coach. But yeah, it's like, but the naysayer, you need to get yourself that the naysayer is someone that you don't talk to about anything other than the weather. And guess what? They're always going to say it's about to rain. So that number type 1 is a naysayer. Number 2 is the competitor, and the competitor will make it seem like they're actually supportive. The competitor will make it seem like they're going to motivate you. Like the competitor may seem like your best ally, but they're only close because they are just want to be in your business so they can steal all of your knowledge and apply it to themselves. Mm, mm. Okay. Did you hear that? And Jason says, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe. Yes, like the video, subscribe, especially to my YouTube channel, Edition with Addie Snowden. So be careful of these competitors. Be careful of these competitors because they will seem like your biggest friend, your biggest ally, just to cut you off and sabotage behind your back. Okay, next is the distractor. So the person who's always pulling you away with fun plans. And I feel like, and the distractor, it's like we all love a distractor. We all want to have some fun, you know? But it's like the distractor is distracting you because they don't have the discipline to work on their stuff. So they're like, hey, come, let's do this fun, tempting thing because it's what I want to do instead of doing my work and working towards my goal. And so they're not helping. The distractor may seem like, and this is the friend who's like, let's go to brunch. Let's go catch a movie. Let's go to Cabo. Let's do a girls trip. And it's like they know you're trying to pay off your student loans. They know you're trying to save for a house. They know you're trying to stack this cash, and they always want to do something to sabotage it in the name of fun. And it's like you got to keep those people a distance. You got to decide for yourself how much time when you're gonna have some fun time. And it's like I have 1 day a week. I have one day every 2 weeks where I'm gonna do this. So I used to run a meetup. It's actually the meetup. Oh, my wife says the competitors are the girls on vacation who leave you or worse. Yes, exactly. So in terms of like yeah, so I used to have a meetup. We would meet every 2 weeks at this speakeasy, and my wife and I actually met at this meetup. And it's like I had picked that 2 weeks cadence. I had a very clear budget. As you guys know, Addie is about that personal finance. Okay, I had a budget, how much I was going to spend, and I had it enough for every 2 weeks, right? Every 2 weeks, we're going to hang. As soon as people started coming to the group and enjoying it, and they're like, well, I want to go to this event. I want to go to that event. And I'm like, well, that's great. But it's like I had a podcast at the time. I was trying to get a new job. I was working at Microsoft at the time. I was probably still interviewing for Google. Like I had goals and dreams, and that once every 2 weeks was the right cadence for me. But people wanted to make it almost every day, and it's like ain't nobody got time for that. It's like and again, it's like about boundaries. You need to know within yourself what is appropriate. What is appropriate? What is the right amount of time off? And you gotta have a schedule and stick to it, and force your friends to respect it. Okay, the pseudo supporter is the next one. So pretends to back you but subtly undermines you. Those are the worst. Ooh, there's weird kind of bee looking fly. Those are the worst. Those are the haters, and we don't even need to spend more time on that. But just know that there are people who you think are being supportive that actually aren't supportive of you. They're jealous, and they're going to sabotage you any chance they get. Okay, next is the comfort keeper. They want you to stay the same because it comforts them. You're their teddy bear. You're their safety blanket, or what is it called? Like your baby blanket. Those and you changing, whether it's moving or getting a new job, impacts their life. Like, don't tell your coworkers that you want a new job. They want you at their job because you're the person that they get lunch with. And they don't see, it's like once I started becoming a creator and influencer, I realized that once you become like actually start being in yourself, like people don't see you as a person anymore. People just kind of see you as an object in their life, that they can tap into and tap out of. They don't You kind of lose your humanity a little bit. in the perception of others once you become a creator, once you become a star, once you become a celebrity. So I'm lighting this incense to protect these insects. So they don't even care. You're just another stuffed animal to them. You're not even real. And it's like, so to sacrifice your dreams to be someone else's comfort blanket is crazy. And then the drama magnet. The drama magnet. So constant crises that steal your energy and focus. This is the drama queen. We all know what that is. We all know what the drama queen is, or drama king. And it's like, oh, you got to listen to how terrible my dating life is. You got to listen to how messed up my partner is. Those people that just have negative things and they just want to keep you on the phone for hours and hours telling you about how bad things are for them, and or how dramatic. uh, I, I don't even have the time to think about them. It's just too much. So those are some examples of dream blocking friends, and you guys need to be real with yourselves. Like, do you have people like this around you? Because most people do, because most people are a part of it, or are part of this. So Jay Snow says, the distractor is powerful because they sometimes don't know what they're doing. Right. Yes. The distractor, the person who's like always pulling you away with fun things, they just think they're being a friend. I mean, that's almost like, if you look at the definition of a friend in the dictionary, like having fun ideas of things to do is going to be there. That's why we hang out with them. But we need to know that that's our goal. You're their ugly, broke, single, or whatever friend. That's what Jay Snow says. LOL. Yes, that is so true. Okay, I'm gonna talk about hair for a second. Okay, as you can see, my hair is long. I have long hair, and I didn't always. I shaved my head when I was 25. I shaved my head, right? And I had like straight up bald head for like 3 years, and then maybe like 2 years of like kind of a short like cut. But I was like going to a barber. My hair was really, really, really short. There's some people who've only known me with no hair, right? And it's like, I remember, and they didn't know that I was a baddie before. They didn't know that I've always had long hair my whole life, and that I was just going through something, and that's why they met me with short hair. Like, they, you know, they really didn't even, the thought didn't even cross their mind. And once I got back into my baddie, back into my feminine energy, started growing my hair back, starting wearing extensions to at least like accelerate the look of having my hair back. The way I lost all those friends, the way those friends didn't want to talk to me because I was their short hair friend that they felt confident around because they had long hair. And everyone knows about relationships. Like, as soon as you get into a relationship, you're the worst person in the world. Because now you're not their single buddy anymore. I don't have too many single friends, because I think, like, my partner, my wife has to be my closest friend, and single people don't understand that. Single people need to be hanging out with other single people, and it's not like an anti-single thing. It's just a different life stage thing and a different priority thing. I feel like the exception are single moms. Single moms have the understanding that there's someone in their life. Single moms have someone in their life who's actually important, um, other than themselves. But if they are just a single person, they don't get that you can have loyalty and attachment to someone else at home, and you can't be at brunch every weekend. Okay, so let's talk about these subconscious effects. So again, like, you have a dream, and this is the impact of what your friendship circle can have on you. So, like, if you keep these same people around who are negative, that's going to lower how you believe in yourself. If you let yourself be around you your whole life, who are telling you that you're not smart enough, that you're not pretty enough, that you're not talented enough, if you let those people around you and your whole life, of course you're not going to believe that for yourself. And that's why in quantum life coaching, reprogramming these limiting beliefs is like the first step, because we have really ingrained insecurities and limiting beliefs in our head that come from the people that are around us. It's like we already have to unpack and undo all the damage from family, not these friends that have done nothing for us except talk negative about us. Like, I mean, and we watched like White Lotus recently, and it's like they had the group of those three friends on White Lotus season 3, and everyone was like, "Oh wow, how beautiful it was that they were all happy and friends again at the end." I'm sorry. All of those women need to be dropped. They do not need to be friends with each other. They're like they can follow each other on Instagram, but they don't need to be talking to each other intimately. They're not each other's friend. That I think society media has terrible examples of what friendship is. Terrible. I was a huge Gossip Girl fan, and Serena and Blair, again, terrible, terrible friendships. And me and my old best friends, we'd be like, yeah, we're Blair and Serena. And it's like, and I'm like, were we? Kinda, I guess so, because we were frenemies. And it's like, I think Mean Girls, all of it, it's like frenemies is what is normalized as a friend. Okay. But actual friends, like, we don't have good examples of what that is in the media. So social pressure, wanting to fit in versus standing out. Like, if you don't let yourself exist as a person, as a being outside of a social group, if you don't let yourself exist, if you don't believe you have any worth outside of being part of the social group, like, you're never going to achieve your dreams. You're never going to achieve your goals. Never, never. Like, I in college, like, I went to a very like Greek centered college, and I know I was supposed to go to a traditional sorority, one of those that were like really exclusive and that only let certain types of girls in, and thought they were better than everybody else, and no one can come to their house and all that stuff. And I just didn't want to deal with that because I didn't want my self-worth to be tied to some Greek letters. So um like, but some people, it's like they got to be a part of the sports team. They got to be head of the glee club. They got to be part of this sorority, and as an adult they got to be part of this friend group and friend circle. And you're never going to achieve your dreams being a follower, being a group think. And I mean, don't even get me started on church. Okay, so Jay Snow says friendship isn't supposed to be constantly toxic. Exactly. And also, don't forget those friends on dating shows ruining people's relationship. Yeah, so like, we I love 90 Day Fiance. I do. And we're watching 90 Day Fiance UK, and it's like these friends that are so anti these relationships, these marriages, these always like, oh, they're just using you for a visa. Like, how do you know? And it's like, why do you care? Like, I'll be fine. Like, if you don't want to be the shoulder to cry on if things don't work out, just say that. But don't try to say that you can predict the future. You're not a psychic. You're not a soothsayer. You don't know what's in store for me. Okay, so thanks Twitch for commenting. All right, so secondhand dreams. How you can end up living their vision instead of your own. Oh my gosh. So this is the classic. A parent wanted to be a doctor as a kid, so now but never did. So now they force their kid to be a doctor. Come on. We know this. We know this. People are living vicariously through us. I remember when I graduated college, um, I was a math major, art minor, and I had an aunt who was a math teacher, and she was like, "You should get a job at NASA." I'm like, "What?" Like, I'm sorry. Like, I appreciate you, and that, but that's not my goal for myself. But people will project all these things onto you. And I also remember I wanted to be a lawyer as a kid, and I was told that I wouldn't be good at it because I'm not a good because lawyers lie. And it's like, okay, you know what I mean? But like, it's just like things like that. People will always like push you. If you don't like, you can be a piece of clay putty and people will just mold you into whatever they want you to be. And like, that is just not cool. It's not cool. It's not cool. But again, this is not about those people being wrong. It's about us being aware that people are going to do that to us and setting those boundaries. Okay, so and then emotional fatigue from people pleasing and over explaining. Wow. Like the exhaustion. And that's honestly, that's why I can't. That's why I ain't talking to people on the phone like that. That's why I'm not following people like that. That's why I don't really have any friends in my life right now. I got family and that's it, because talking to y'all, and that's why I have a podcast. I don't have to talk to y'all one on one. Okay, if you want to, you want to hear me explain myself and my life decisions, listen to my podcast, because it's too much. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. My wife always reminds me of the value of my voice, and not like my singing voice, but that's valuable too. But just like pushing the air out of my stomach and vocal, like that is waste your breath. That is our to people who don't care, frankly, is just a waste of time. Okay, so dream. So we talked about boundaries. So you can set boundaries. Like if you have a really important dream, if you know you are really great and you know it's on your heart that you're going to do it, well, first definitely book with me, calendly.com/edition pod. I would love to help you bring that dream to life. But you can be confrontational. Like sometimes it's just like you just got to set the boundary. Some people don't know how to take gentle boundaries. They don't. Some people don't. Some people need to be told off. Some people need to be heard f off. You know, that's my truth. That's my truth. So, but obviously, try to be nice about it. But not really. You know, this is your life and this is your dream, and this person is an op. This person is an enemy if they're getting in the way. And obviously, like you have judgment as to how to deal with these people, but and how important the relationship is and things like that. But 9 times out of 10, you think the relationship is way more important than it actually is. So if they don't respect your dreams and your goals, like maybe give them one time. And if they don't get it the next time, it's okay to not set the perfect boundary. It's okay to just create space for yourself. Okay, share dreams selectively. Choose your dream safe circle. Yes. Your dream safe circle. It should be an intentional community of people that are I've talked about this. Your power circle. People who are all that want you to be powerful, want you to be empowered. LOL. Thanks, Jalila, for the comments. These are the people that you can actually tell your dreams to. Okay, it's a very small group of people, and they need to submit an application. Honestly, they need to have evidence. They need to have evidence that they are actually supportive and not one of these fake example friends that I talked about earlier. Okay, so now practice inner validation, because once you have that inner validation, you don't have to worry about what anybody else is doing. Let me take a sip of water. Once you have inner validation, and that this is another 15 commitment of conscious leadership, source being the source of your own validation, because then that's your superpower. It's like nobody has to say that you're good or bad or whatever, because you believe it for yourself. And this is something that I 100% help with quantum life coaching. We use a technique called scripting, and to cement this inner validation into your head. All right, build new support systems, which we already talked about. Okay, so now just to recap, your dreams deserve protection, and you'd be surprised how unprotected your dreams are because of the people that you have around you. So you can still love people. You just don't have to hand them the keys to your destiny by letting them squash and spit and punch on your dreams. Like, do your dreams a better service than that. put some respect on your dream's name, okay? So now I want to give you guys some homework. I want you to reflect on who supports you fully. Like, make that list of people, and it's okay if it's one person. That's more than enough, okay? Because that's automatically two, because you include yourself in there, okay? Who supports you fully? Journal. Journal about what dreams you have hidden because of fear of judgment. That's something my wife and I have been working on. We had dreams that we thought were publicly acceptable dreams, and focusing on manifesting those dreams. And now that we're in Thailand and don't have to worry about external validation, we have a completely different set of dreams now. Affirm. I honor my dreams by protecting their light. That's a great affirmation. All right. So thanks for listening. I'm not done with the podcast. So that was the main segment. I'm going to talk about one hot topic in tech, and then I'm going to talk about what I'm geeked out about this week. And I am going to answer career questions. If you have questions of anything, Jalila, thanks for the gift. I really, 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 really appreciate you. Jalila is such another example of being, like, first of all, Jalila's badass hairstylist. I've watched her start a whole business. And I believe that she's someone selective who she talks about her dreams with, and she also just does it. So excellent person. I appreciate you. Okay, so all right, so let's talk about if you have career questions, submit them in the chat, and I'm gonna talk about the hot topic in tech this week, because this is still a tech podcast. So you guys, the tech bros have been exposed. This is so apparently since COVID, there's been these group chats with 300 plus people in it with all the big tech bro names. Like, I'm not even going to name them because I'm so tired of talking about these men, you guys. I'm so exhausted and knowing that this is manufactured. But basically, there's a group of 300 millionaires and billionaires, powerful people in the tech community who, through this group chat, changed the whole political direction of the US. And as someone, and starting from COVID, and as someone who was on Clubhouse back in 2020, 2021, as someone who's been listening to would listen to a lot of podcasts through COVID, it was really validating to know that it was intentional, because I noticed a shift in all my podcasts. All of them were starting to talk about certain things, certain topics, basically pushing a certain candidate, pushing a certain politics, pushing a certain political agenda. And I feel like they were kind of rationalizing some crazy. And I eventually, when my wife came into my life, I stopped listening to those podcasts. And again, I'm intentionally being vague here. I'm going to link the articles and show notes for you to do your own research, okay? And my wife was like, "Why are you even listening to these people? They are not for you. They are not for us." And she was so true, and she'll write about it. Oh my God, there are bees everywhere. I got to wrap this up soon. But yeah, they were just pushing an agenda in a group chat. Again, people so obsessed with being a part of the group and groupthink weren't even thinking, made dramatic decisions that have now affected the lives of the whole world. And it all started from tech bros mentally masturbating in their group chats. So I'm gonna link the article so you can read about it. It's really powerful, because think about, if that they can do that in their group chat, what can you do in your group chat? Like, I used to have some very powerful group chats. Don't have them anymore. But we're talking about creating an intentional community of supporters for your dreams. So maybe I may be creating another group chat in the midst. Let me know in the comments if you want me to start a group chat of intentional people who are going to support your dreams, that you can feel confident sharing your dreams. And if anyone says anything negative about your dreams, they're getting kicked out. So don't underestimate the power of a group chat. Group chat changed the whole world. Okay. So that's the hot topic in tech. And then again, I'm getting, if you have any career questions or questions about the topic, feel free to chat, drop them in the chat. What am I geeked out about this week? Oh my gosh, my hair. I'm geeked out about my hair. You guys, I finally took those braids out. As you can see, I have long, healthy, beautiful hair. We don't see enough of Black women's hair in their natural state. And this is no shade against weed or anything like that. You guys know I love to pop a wig on. I love to put some braids in. I love to add an extension. But I've been intentionally growing out my hair for years, and it's finally at the length where I feel confident having my hair out. And I love that my wife can braid my hair for me. We finally got some products, so it's going to look cuter next time. But I think it looks super cute. I love my hair. I'm geeked out about my hair, you guys. So let me know if you like the new look. I need to change the whole branding of the podcast because I had that 613 blonde, which I love, but I'm decentering a lot of stuff, including whiteness in my current state. I live in Asia now. I'm Asian, y'all. So we have brown hair over here. So I'm geeked out about my hair. Questions. Does anyone have questions? I'm gonna give you guys like 5 seconds to drop a question. But quick Thailand update. It is hot season. It is incredibly hot. We just bought 2 new fans yesterday because we replaced our old fans that were taking up space and not being productive. I'm so blessed and grateful that the clouds came out because when we took our laundry to the laundry woman this morning at like 9 a.m. and it was blazing. It feels like 88, and the clouds finally came to help me do this podcast, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, heavens, for giving me shade, you guys. It is hot in Thailand right now, but the ocean feels amazing. Thanks, Jay Snow. Love your hair. It's beautiful. Love it. Thank you. Thanks for taking care of it. Jay Snow also put me on those Moroccan oils, and not the brand, like actual oil from Morocco. So that's my hair secret. My hair beauty secret is these Moroccan oils straight up from Morocco. All right. So I'm not seeing any comments. Thanks everyone for joining. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting the podcast. Again, go subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. I have a Substack, editionpod.substack.com. And oh my gosh, I have a Reddit. I have a subreddit now, you guys. It's r/edition with Addie. Go find me on the subreddit. I'm the @not your average. I can't even change my Reddit name. I'll figure it out eventually, but go join the subreddit. It's going to be in the show notes. But this was a great episode. Thanks for being my power circle. You guys are my power circle. I love you guys. Have a great one.